Hi all, Dan here and welcome to Agora Models. New build today, that's right, you heard it, another new build. Today we're going to be starting the Ferrari La Ferrari from the folks at Agora Models. So when I saw Agora Models would bring this out, simply I had to subscribe, had to build it. This looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic model. Also, last week or the week before, losing track of time now. Obviously, I was down at MCM Comic Con. I was down there with Wayne from the World of Wayne channel. Both there primarily to see the Optimus Prime that Agora had on display there. I was also able to meet some of the great, fantastic staff there. I was able to meet Liam. I had a really good chat with him. And I think I will probably say, personal opinion, I think Agora Models is probably, I would say, the premier part work company that's out there. Bring great models, the detail and the quality is fantastic. Customer service is second to none, and again, also the packaging. It might sound really small, but the packaging that it all comes in, you know that nothing's going to get damaged on the way. If you do want to build the Ferrari for yourself, I will put a link down in the video description. You can head on over to Agora Models. You can see the La Ferrari and some of the other great builds that they've got over there. So you see behind me, we do have the start of Optimus Prime. Again, from Agora Models. But yeah, head on over there and you'll be able to find some great kits for yourself. So enough about that. Let's have a look and see what we get in this first pack. So the first thing that we get is we do get this fantastic glossy brochure, which folds out. Obviously, the ultimate hypercar. It's got some information about it. Hopefully, we can just about fit that into on camera. The whole thing as it's out there. We can see the doors, I believe, are electronically opening. We've got the lights that work, and then also we get this fantastic, I believe it's a remote control steering wheel. So rather than having to stick your hand inside, as you do get with some of these builds, and it can be quite fiddly to operate some of the bit of the lights or horn or whatever the features are of the kit, having this steering wheel is going to solve that problem. And again, this does fold out once more, and I'm certainly not going to fit it down there, so let's have a look at it up here. It's ginormous. It's absolutely massive, this poster. I might have to see if I can find somewhere to put this up, as it is great quality. There is quite a lot that we get in this pack, so probably I won't show it all to you now. I'll show it to you as we go through each stage. So, you know what I'm going to be building. You know what I'm going to say. Without further ado, let's build this. Okay, so pack one we've got here. First thing, notice there is a proper official Ferrari sticker on there to say this is an official Ferrari product. So if we lift that off, put that down onto the floor, see we get a screwdriver with this. This does actually feel like quite a nice, good quality screwdriver, probably about a PHO. We've then got this, I believe this is going to be on like the rear number plates. It's got some sticky like double-sided tape on the back for us to fix that on. We've got, hopefully we'll see it on there, tiny little Ferrari badge that will be going onto the front. And then finally, we've got this piece of the front here. Now this, quite heavy, an absolutely unbelievable paint job on this. So I'll certainly be making sure I don't scratch that. Okay, so first thing that we need to do is we need to take the small little Ferrari badge, noting on the back of it there is a keyhole pattern, so it's only going to go in one way, and quite simply that is going to fit into the front like so. That actually fits in quite well. Yep, that's certainly not going to come out, so we don't need to worry about glue. If you're worried about it coming out, you can put a drop of glue underneath there, but I'm pretty sure that's going to stay. And there we go. Hopefully you see it on there, maybe on there. We've got the first two pieces of the La Ferrari all together. And that is that stage complete. Okay, so with stage 2 out, we're going to be working on the driver's seat. We are going to need some screws. The first thing to note, we've got this big bag of screws that comes with this first pack. I believe this, let's get them out. This is all of the screws that we're going to need for this build. They're all labelled, so they've all got a label on them, so we know which one's which. There we go, they're all laid out. 28 different bags of screws that we're going to be working on. So in this stage, we are going to need some B screws, which are these black ones here. I think these are the only screws I need in this particular stage. So I'm going to put those to one side and clear the rest out of the way. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to take the seat base, and then we need to take the actual the front upholstery seat. And we've got these two lugs here are going to be fitting over these lugs here. Like so. And with the two holes that we've got here, we're going to be screwing it into place with two B screws. So that's the first one in. And that is the second one in, and it's now starting to take shape, looking like this. Next, the backrest for the seat. Quite simply, just needs to go over onto the rear of that. It clips into place, and that's held there securely, so we don't need to worry about that falling out. Instructions do say if you want, you can add a little bit of glue, but I'm quite happy that is quite solid there. Finally, we've got this headrest, which hopefully on there you'll be able to see. You do have a tiny little Ferrari logo on there. We've got the slots on the back of the chair there, two slots or two long lugs on there. Quite simply, again, this is a press to fit. And there we have it. We've got our first seat. We've got the driver's seat all complete, and that is at stage complete. Okay, so we've got this aileron here, again, brilliantly painted metal piece, and then we do have this plastic piece here that does have like a carbon fibre effect on it that we're going to be working on, and now we're also going to be using some A screws that I've got out ready. We don't need a tire in this stage, so I will pop that to one side and then we'll put these bits together. Right, so with the aileron out the way, we're bringing in this front part that we worked on in stage 1. Quite simply, we need to take this, flip this over, Put this over the top like so, and then in the hole we're going to screw it in with one of these A screws. So we use a little bit of oil as we're going into metal. We'll get that nicely into place, and this now looks like that. So with the splitter, what we now need to do is turning this over like this. From this side we're going to be slotting this piece over the lugs that we've got there. So it will, it's a bit fiddly this bit, I won't lie, but then that should look like this once it's done. So we've got the first screw in, second screw in, the third screw, and the fourth screw. And looking like that, that's all there is to do in that stage. So on stage 4, we've got the left wheel rim, and we've got this little hubcap that will obviously go into there at some stage. And we're going to need to bring back in the tyre that we got with the previous stage. So having made sure that the insert foam piece that's inside the tyre is all nice and even, I'm going to check the tread pattern. Hopefully you can see it on this side here. There's a bit of a wavy line, and that is going to be going towards the outside of the rim. Quite simply, I'm going to push this down like so, making sure that the tyre is fully over the edge of the rim. And that the tyre around the bead is properly seated all the way around, so it should look like this. And then we don't do anything with this hubcap for this stage, so I'm going to pop it back in the bag. If I can get it in there, seal it up, and keep that safe with the wheel, and that is that stage complete. So on stage 5, we can see we've got the bonnet here, and we've got 2 hinges that we're going to be putting onto the bonnet. I'm going to be using some C screws for that, so I've got that pack of screws out. These look like they're a flange. Yep, they're a flange screw that we've got there. So let's get these hinges on. So the bonnet out of the packaging, we can see it here, both sides. Yet again, absolutely fantastic finish to this. So I think I will be putting something down to make sure I don't scratch this when I'm putting the hinges on. Okay, so with a cushion down, yes, it's a garden cushion. I don't have a builder's mat at the moment. Probably should speak to Ian over at Parwork Upgrades about getting one, but this will do for now. So what we need to do is we need to turn this over and then spin it round. Here we can see that there's a hole in the centre and 2 little lugs. On the hinges, if I show you one of them, better to see it on here, we've got the larger hole in the middle and then the 2 small holes that are going to go over the lugs. So, right, I'm happy I know which one is which. So quite simply, I'm going to place the first one over the small lugs that we've got on there. Push it down. It's a little bit tricky getting it on there because of I think because of the paint. But with that on there, with one of these C screws, a drop of oil, screw this into place. Right, that's the first one done. Let's get the second one on there. One went on a little bit easier than the first. Again, a bit of oil. It's just going to make life a little bit easier with cutting the threads. And get that in there nice and tight. So you can see on this side at the end we've now got our two hinges on the bonnet, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 6, we're carrying on working on the bonnet, but this time we're going to be working on the underneath of it. We've then got this bonnet aerofoil and the vent frame. We're going to start off by taking this airfoil. It's got a brilliant little carbon fibre effect on the bottom as well, on both sides of it, which makes it look brilliant. We're going to be placing it over these two lugs that we've got there, like so. We're then going to be taking the frame that we've got here. We're going to locate this, making sure we've got it the right way round. I'm going to work that out. No, I was right the first time. It's going to be going over those same front two lugs and a couple more lugs at the rear. We're going to be screwing that into place with some D screws. Right, so I've got some screws out. It's absolutely tiny, these screws. So I'm going to put the first one in over here. Put this other one onto the front. Getting the shakes there. There we go. It's nicely in place. And then we've got these two screws at the rear. And there they are. They're all tight. Our bonnet is now looking like this. And that is that stage complete. So on stage 7, we're starting work on the airbox. If we get that out, you can see the airbox looks like this. We can see on both sides, we can see the word Ferrari is written there. But what we do have in here, we've got, take that off there, we've got very small, which hopefully you'll be able to see that, little Ferrari logos or written, that we're going to be lining up on top of it printed there, so it looks, so it's raised. So I think that looks quite good. Yep. Bang on the money. We've got our first one on. We're now going to move on to the second one. So ease that off of the backing. Just try and get this lined up perfectly. And push that down. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So on to stage 8, final stage in this pack. We're going to be working on the left-hand head cover we've got here. So here we've got the cover itself. In here we've got plugs. These are all numbered. Yep, they are all numbered individually. So we'll make sure we get the right ones onto them. And then we've got in here 2 foam gaskets. We'll only be needing one of them, I believe, at this stage, if any. Obviously, whatever gasket and whichever of these plugs we don't use, we need to make sure we keep safe. So the first thing to do is, with our head gasket, we're going to take, this is the gasket, this is the head cover. We're going to take the gasket and line it up, put it over those lugs so it sits in place like so. Now we want to turn this back over like so, and then we're going to need some of these plugs. So just having a look at them carefully, although they are all numbered, they do all look exactly the same. There's no difference in patterns on them, so we should be able to use whichever ones we want. So, sprue cutters out. I'm going to carefully cut off the first one, and then we're not going to put one on this end one. We need to start from here. So I'm just having a look to see which way round it goes. It goes in that way. That is actually quite tight, so the gaskets come off. We won't worry about that, but we won't need to worry about glue, as it is a very tight fit. But we're going to need 4 of these plug caps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3 off of there, as we've already got one in there. And then quite simply, we're going to make sure that we get them lined up with little slots that are on the inside. So you've got these 3 are facing one way, and this final one is going to face in a different way, and the top of it is now looking like this. And we're going to put the gasket back on. I'm sure it will probably fall off again, but we'll try. But that is that stage complete, and that is that pack all complete. Wow, what a great first pack. The quality of this, as I said before, is absolutely second to none. I can tell you now, I'm really going to enjoy building this. If you do want to build it for yourself, look down below in the video description. I'll put a link there to the Agora Models website, where head on over there and you can find this for yourself. But that's enough for today. So until next time, take care and keep modelling.